So you're in the market to purchase a home, and maybe you're a first-time home buyer, maybe you're not, but how do you decide what to offer on a property? How do you decide if the price that the seller is asking for a home is actually reasonable? Is the house worth that amount? So should you go online and use sites like Zillow and Redfin to determine whether or not a home is priced correctly? And the easy answer is no. Absolutely not. And in today's video, we're going to talk about why. We're going to talk about why these values are not reliable when making an offer on a property. And more importantly, if you're looking to sell a property, why they're not accurate. I'm going to tell you how they derive their values, how they come up with these numbers, because in some cases they're fairly accurate, but in as many cases as they're accurate, there's that many cases where they're not. I'm also going to show you an example of a recent listing that I had that is over $1 million off on the zestimate, Zillow's estimate of the price. And if you were a buyer out there relying solely on what Zillow was saying versus where I listed the home, you would think that my home was $1 million over value, when in fact I received 2 offers within 3 days of listing the home at the full price. So we're going to take a look at those numbers, and we're also going to talk about how Zillow derives their value, as well as other online brokerages, and why you should not rely on them and why you should rely on a professional when making an offer on a property. But before we do that, I want to take a minute and introduce myself. My name is Jeb Smith. I'm a real estate broker here in Southern California. My channel is all about real estate, helping educate, helping guide you through that real estate process. So do me a favor, if you find the value in this content, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. So let's take a minute and talk about how Zillow comes up with their zestimate, their estimate of value on a property. And not just Zillow, I'm not singling them out per se, but in this video I have examples to back up what I'm talking about, but really any online brokerage that's claiming that they have the value of your home. And in fact, you might be receiving an email from your real estate agent or from a real estate agent that updates you on the value of your home, because I offer my clients a service similar to that. And oftentimes those values aren't accurate either. And it's because they're using algorithms, they're using artificial intelligence, if you will, to go out and try to find comparable properties as to the one that they're making the estimate on. Now, keep in mind, they're primarily looking at bedroom, bathroom, home size square footage, as well as lot square footage when making these estimates. And so if it's not identical cookie cutter to the exact same home that they're estimating, chances are the value is going to be off. I have several cases where, I recently went on a listing appointment this past Friday, and this is another example of how the value is off. It's telling me that the value of this property is somewhere between $650,000 and $700,000. Now, this home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just over 1,300 square feet, but it's a single level property in Huntington Beach. These properties fetch a huge premium in this market. And so it's estimating that value is probably somewhere between $100,000 and $125,000 low on the value, because what it's doing is it's going out there and trying to pull similar properties as to, the square footage, the lot size, the bedroom bathroom count, where it's not taking into account, whether or not it's a single level, whether or not it's upgraded on the interior. Have they done a full remodel on the kitchen? Or maybe the one that they estimated it to, or compared it to rather, had been fully remodeled, interior, exterior, what have you, and the property that it's comparing it to has not. They haven't done anything. And so maybe in that case, it's overestimating the value of what that home is worth. And see, unfortunately, as a buyer going out, I don't know these things. So what I'm doing is I'm going online. Zillow tells me, hey, this property is $50,000 overvalued. And so therefore, as a buyer, it's tough for me to come in and make an offer on a property when I think, the value is $50,000 over. Or in some cases, maybe it says that the value is $500,000 when truly it's $600,000, and I'm shy of making a full price offer because I don't find the value in that property. And so it's tough. It's tough as a buyer to know where to turn in these instances, because you don't want to give your real estate agent full authority on telling you what a home is worth. But in this market, you need a professional. I've talked about it over and over again in different videos. You need a professional to guide you through that process, to help you understand what's happening in this market. And your agent, your real estate professional, should be able to provide comparables to you to give you an idea of what the value is. Now, in this market, I've told you one of the things that I struggle with as a real estate agent is being able to tell a buyer accurately where a property will sell. And that's because properties are selling higher than what I think they're worth in some cases, and in many cases what the comparables are able to support. So, as an agent, what we're doing in this market is doing our best, right? We're saying, hey, look, this is where the property, the comparables are, but in my experience, the last 5 or 6 that have sold, or whatever that number is, they've sold for $50,000 above the asking price, and that might equate to 5% or maybe 7-8% in some cases, but showing the comparables of how we got those numbers, so that as a buyer, you're informed, you have all the right answers. Now, whether or not you want to make an offer at that price is up to you, but at least you have accurate information so that if you're interested in making an offer, you can do so. But let's take a minute here and talk about a recent example that I have. So I recently listed a property here in Huntington Beach. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, single level property. It's in a community called Seacliff on the Greens. It's one of the estate properties. And when looking at the property online, Zillow says it was worth somewhere around 1.5, as you can see here. 1.5 is what it's telling me it's worth. Well, I know, from my experience, it's worth considerably more than that. And so we list the property at 2.5. And within 3 days, we have 2 full price offers, one all cash, willing to close in 7 days. The other one has a loan. But regardless of that, so, 2.5, we have 2 offers. And so within that 3 days of listing that property, Zillow now changes their estimate, what they think it's worth. So now they change their value from 1.5 to 2.5. So just by me listing a property $1 million higher than what they thought it was worth, it manipulated their data. It changed their data. So if you're relying solely on Zillow to tell you what a property's worth, and it's as easily manipulated as me just inputting numbers into the MLS, is it really accurate? And the easy answer is no, it's not accurate. The data is manipulated easily. All I have to do is change numbers on my side in order to manipulate that data. Now, if I went into the MLS and I changed that value from 2.5 million to 2 million, guess what's going to happen? That value on Zillow is likely going to drop again. It's going to adjust again because I changed the value. And so, that's right there shows you that it's not accurate. And that's why you need to have a professional working for you, with you, to help guide you through the process and show you exactly what a home is worth. And if you're on the selling side, the same is true for you. Don't solely rely on these online websites to tell you what your home is worth. Whether you think it's low or whether you think it's high, you just need to consult a professional in that case. And if you're somebody out there looking at one of these websites because they're making you an offer on your home, and offer up one of these instant offer type deals, understand if you're using their numbers, it's likely incorrect. So make sure you're consulting with a professional. And if you have questions about this, do me a favor, comment below. If you've had experiences where it's been accurate or inaccurate, let me know. Love to hear these stories. More importantly, I love to hear when they're wrong, because it's interesting to see how the data is manipulated. But put your comments in the comments below, and if you have questions for me, leave them there. As I get more information on the housing market, on home values, I'll continue to update you. But for now, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.